So math student Jenny had a question about solving this tricky little equation. She looked at it, she said, it looks like a two-step, but yet it's throwing me with the v's on both sides. So let's give it a try. I'd like everybody to remember here that there isn't necessarily one right way to solve an equation, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and start in this example by getting rid of that fraction. I do not like that fraction. So here's what I know. I know that if v is over -8, that means the same as v divided by -8. And I can get rid of division by doing the opposite. The opposite of division is multiplication. So I'll multiply the left-hand side of my equation by -8. Now, where'd I go? I got lost, y'all. Now, if I multiply the left side of my equation by -8, the rule of solving is you can do whatever you want. As long as you keep your balance to an equation, you've got to do it to both sides. So I'm going to multiply the entire right-hand side by -8. Notice how I use parentheses so that my multiplying will pass out. Every term gets multiplied when you multiply a side of the equation. Okay, so let's see what happens. On this side of the equation, multiplying by -8 and dividing by -8 will cancel, leaving me with just that v. And on this left-hand side, this multiplication is passing out. -8 times v is -8v, and -8 times +4 is -32. Almost ready to solve here, but what I want you to notice is I want you to notice that I still have v's on both sides. Really good rule of thumb is to get your v's to the same side. If I have v's on two different sides, how could I ever get the v alone? No matter which side I brought the numbers to, there would be a v there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this entire -8v term and zero it out by adding 8v. Notice I add, I'm not dividing because I want to move the whole term, not just the -8. I want to move the entire -8v, so I'm going to add 8v. Now let's see what happens to that. If I already have a v and then I add up 8 more v's, I'll have a total of 9 v's. For those of you who struggle with that, remember that the coefficient, when you don't see a coefficient, is 1. How many v's was that? Just 1 v. So I get 9 v's on that side. On this side, subtracting 8v and adding 8v cancels, so I have -32. And I'm almost done now. All I got to do is divide by 9. Now, this particular fraction, -32, does not divide by 9, and most mathematicians would just leave it in this form. We are totally fine with improper fractions. You should just make sure it's reduced. Your third grade teachers scarred you like improper fractions were something wrong, but actually in algebra we most commonly use improper fractions for answers more commonly than mixed numbers. So anyway, I would just need to check that it was reduced, and I know that 9 is made entirely of 3's. 32 is not divisible by 3. I'm not going to be able to reduce that fraction. It is done. Now, of course, you wouldn't be wrong if you express that as a mixed number. If you express that as the number, let's see. So when I express as a mixed number, I'm doing this division. I'm doing -32 divided by 9. So if you express that as -3 and 5/9, you wouldn't be wrong. But this is the answer I would more likely expect to see in your GED multiple choices. All right, I hope that makes things clearer for you. Jenny, let me know if you have any questions about it.